saying to yourself, damn, what is going on here?
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Caitlin Clark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years.
It's actually to drive revenue so we can give the players extra income opportunities. I had to educate the players. They're like, good, 75 million divided by 144, pay us.
Many people are wondering what the WNBA will do to assure that there are no vacant seats and that TV ratings are falling. In 2025, they continue to be successful. And keeping Caitlin Clark on the court is the only real solution.
Because at the end of the day, with her WNBA rookie season complete, let's see it. Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA.
This is why the discussions that are currently taking place behind closed doors are starting to prepare for Clark and the Indiana Fever to win the 2025 finals. Naturally, the WNBA, who stand to gain the most from this, is the one who set it up. And even though this might seem unrealistic, wait till you see the figures we'll present to you to support it. The sum is billions.
The NBA negotiated the WNBA's media deal alongside its own massive media rights agreement with Disney, NBC, and Amazon, and each of those companies will have their own WNBA packages. However, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver confirmed on Tuesday that the media deals were not finalized just yet.
You got to build, you have to scale, and ultimately expansion had always been on my list. But we didn't want to rush into it because we wanted new owners, like new ownership groups. Anyone who knows sports here knows, like, it's a slog to be a sports owner.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark changed the WNBA's entire landscape when she first appeared on the scene, not simply making headlines.
Clark trying to get around Mabry. Clark to the rim, reverses it home through the contact.
Clark, who is renowned for her incredible range, brazen attitude, and seasoned senior swagger, added something to the WNBA that had been lacking. An extraordinary athlete who could draw hundreds of admirers.
Struggled with physical defense she's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's what Caitlin Clark said.
What I am upset about, it's like, hey man, your meal ticket is under constant attack. There's been dirty plays all season.
She became well known right away thanks to her accurate playmaking and long three-point shots from the logo.
Discouraged Alyssa Thomas from making some of her great passes.
No one picks up Clark, who cans the three.
Longtime WNBA fans couldn't stop talking about her, and those who had never watched a game before were immediately captivated to their screens.
But Cowan, who couldn't finish, behind the back again for Clark, give her another assist, and a chance for a three-point play for Smith.
However, Clark's influence extended beyond her standout performances. It also encompassed her contributions to the WNBA overall.
Tremendous move, but we are tied right now. Clark to Samuelson, and there is, believe it or not, folks, the biggest lead.
She entered the league at a pivotal moment. Despite boasting some of the world's top players, the WNBA had long struggled to get the same level of public interest as men's sports. Slowly, the league was expanding. But with Clark, the WNBA at last had a star who could attract both casual sports watchers and ardent supporters as well. Given Caitlin Clark's level of influence, the question now is, will the league do everything to help her succeed, perhaps even position her for a finals victory? Caitlin Clark had an absolutely revolutionary impact from the moment she was drafted by the Indiana Fever. With an average of 4,200 spectators per game in 2023, the Fever had one among the lowest attendance rates. But those figures exploded when Clark took the court in 2024. With an average of 17,000 spectators each game, Fever home games saw a huge fourfold rise in attendance, moving them from last in the league to first. The sellouts were immediate for some high-profile games, especially those against elite teams or other top players like Aya Wilson or Breanna Stewart.
Asia Wilson keeps the possession alive for Vegas. Wilson gets denied by Stewart.
Shot here in these finals. What about this one? Just a beautiful contest, all ball from the 7'1" wingspan.
However, attendance at the Fever was not the only thing that skyrocketed. As a result of Caitlin's participation in the league, WNBA ticket sales increased by 93% in 2024, and clubs were forced to move their games to avoid the craze. However, attendance was only the beginning. The TV ratings told the true tale.
The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
The WNBA as a whole saw a spike in national interest during Caitlin Clark's rookie season.
2 national championships, 4 Big Ten championships. Yeah, there's my teammates. They're pretty awesome. And I think just a belief in myself, and my parents always instilled confidence in me from a young age when I was a young girl, and I think that's something a lot of young girls can learn to have, and I think people supporting them certainly helps. So, yeah, I think the biggest thing is the confidence, but I told my mom before this is like, you know, I earned it, and that's why I'm so proud of it.
And more than 2.2 million people watched her maiden WNBA game, making it the most viewed in 23 years. Nielsen reports that the number of people watching WNBA games on ESPN increased by 170% over the previous season, while the number of people watching games on other networks increased by 133% in 2024. These kinds of figures also resulted in a huge TV contract being signed this season. Clark's participation in the league helped the WNBA earn an extra $2.2 billion in media money. However, that was only the start.
And one thing that she said that really stuck out to me was about Christy Size actually having major control over this Fever locker room.
Caitlin Clark for the 2 games that she was in the postseason. Outkick has the story available right now. You can go to outkick.com. Caitlin Clark's final WNBA playoff game. 2.5 million viewers.
Appreciate you. They're ready to rock. I don't. I think she's going to be even better. And I think that what she has done for women's basketball, especially in this country, has been phenomenal. There is no woman, no matter how great you were as a player, Cheryl Swoops.
The Caitlin Clark effect only grew stronger as the Fever advanced into the playoffs. On average, 2.5 million people watched each Fever playoff game. Then, however, something occurred.
Football. And not tell people, hey, if you're just in this for Caitlin Clark, then get out. No, that is not the way you market your league.
So
it's not the way you grow.
Almost soon after Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were eliminated early from the playoffs, the WNBA was rocked. When Clark wasn't playing, attendance at the next round of the playoffs fell.
Not following after Caitlin Clark's been eliminated, and they're not into the league because they're conditioned by the league and the WNBA PA to.
Suddenly, games that were supposed to be high-profile encounters between top teams were being held in front of empty seats. Attendance wasn't the only thing that declined. The playoffs saw a sharp decline in TV viewership. From 2.52 million viewers during Clark's playoff games to just 929,000 for the games that followed, viewership fell by more than 60%.
It was Caitlin Clark. It was massive numbers. When it wasn't, it was even less on average than the previous playoff series.
This was not a little dip. Many were taken aback by the significant decline in engagement. With its brightest star out of the picture, how could the league maintain its momentum? With each passing game, Clark's significance to the WNBA grew increasingly clear. Aya Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Sabrina Ionescu are just a few of the league's many talented players, but it was becoming more and more obvious that Caitlin Clark had gone beyond the game.
Now, one thing we've seen, and Holly Rowe talked to the players about this, last year they shot a lot of 4-pointers as Sabrina knocks that one down for a 4-pointer.
She was increasingly needed by the WNBA to keep fans interested. Clark seemed to be the focus of every league promotion. Networks were always airing her highlights, and she received more social media shares than any other player. Her slots during prime time.
I was once that little Iowa girl who was inspired to dream big, real big. And that dream was more than women's basketball. If I can sign with Gatorade, you can too.
Everything to be proud of. I'm super proud. There's so much more we need to do. We're Caitlin Clark. This is just the beginning.
Leagues naturally want to promote their top players. Take a look at the NBA, where Michael Jordan or LeBron James came before him. However, what occurs when a league depends too much on a single player? That's the question facing the WNBA right now. Even if athletes like Breanna Stewart and Aya Wilson are amazing, they haven't captivated casual sports fans as much as Caitlin Clark has. Her early departure also left the league in a bind.
Tom, about the offensive rebounding. We gave up one offensive rebound the whole second half. That was huge for us. They responded.
Following Clark's removal, the WNBA struggled with dwindling attendance and viewership, and a conspiracy notion started to emerge.
If Caitlin Clark is the quote-unquote savior, if she's the golden girl.
League versus Caitlin Clark, and that is just absolutely false. It is unfair to the women that have been
staying with the WNBA playoffs. Let's stay here. Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark in the Indiana.
Could the league set up a situation where Caitlin Clark makes it to the finals the next season in an attempt to sustain the momentum and excitement she has created? Could referees or league officials quietly sway results to give Clark's team, the Indiana Fever, or wherever she ends up, a better chance at winning a championship? One of the first people to express worries was Stephen A. Smith, who said, "You have to wonder if the WNBA can really afford to lose Clark early again next year. If she advances to the finals due to some dubious calls or favorable matchups, don't be surprised." The league is aware that Clark is their golden ticket, according to Skip Bayless, who shared these sentiments. They will struggle in her absence. So why wouldn't they use every effort to maintain her prominence? These are not only irrational charges. Allegations of partiality have previously been made against sports leagues worldwide. The NBA has come under fire for allegedly favoring clubs with larger markets or celebrities like LeBron James. In order to boost viewership, the NFL has also been charged with favoring well-known teams in important games. Could the WNBA be tempted to rig games in order to guarantee that Caitlin Clark makes it to the finals, given its dire financial situation and need for star power? The WNBA would be engaging in risky behavior if it attempted to sway results in Caitlin Clark's favor. While fans adore celebrity endorsements, they also want sports to be fair and honest. The reputation of the league may be permanently harmed if even the slightest indication of tampering were to surface. Over the years, the WNBA has developed a devoted following, many of whom have stood behind the league during its fight for increased recognition and respect. It would be considered a betrayal of that trust to alter the game's integrity.